So one of the number one questions I get is, should I put my money in the 401k? And if I have the plan, is the plan really for my benefit if I'm an employee, or was it really made for the employer as a benefit? And so I say, no, let me kind of break this down. So like the whole 401k plan was created back in what, 1978. It was through what's called a Revenue Act of 1978. It was actually created by this guy by the name of Ted Benna, right? And you should research him and see exactly what he actually says about the 401k he actually created. But anyways, a lot of people don't really understand how they work. And so I get that question all the time. Who is it really made for? So, Henry Ford created the whole 9 to 5 structure where, if you work for me from 9 to 5, you have a very systematic life. You can get home and have dinner with the kids and the family, and everything is just pretty much routine, and there's nothing to think about. There's no major risk. I give you benefits, and at 65 you retire, and I'm going to give you 100% of your salary. But he was very smart. He said, you know what? I know you're going to live to 67, right? And back in those days, back in that time frame. So he knew that he only had to pay a pension, which was guaranteed income of your salary, for only about 2 years before, unfortunately, you had your demise. So he's like, okay, I can do that consistently because I can pay my profits of my company to employees who no longer work here anymore for 2 years. But the problem was this, is that people start living longer. And so when now people are not dying at 67, they start dying at 75, 80. And he's like, oh my gosh, now I'm paying profits of my company, right, to employees that no longer are offering me value anymore. I can no longer do that. So what they did is they switched the plans to what's called the 401k, and no longer pensions, no longer employers are mandated to offer these pensions anymore. So a lot of employers today use a 401k. It's probably the most popular plan used because there's a lot of tax deductions for the employer offering it to the employee because of participation. So when you look at it, you're an employee and you say, you know what, should I be using this plan? The real question is, how many fees am I acquiring from using this plan? Another one that you should look at if you're looking at this type of plan is, can I lose money based on the market? Because your money's in the market. And the answer obviously is going to be yes, you can. Another one's going to be taxes, because taxes are not going down. They're only going what? Up. So if I'm not paying taxes on my dollar today and I'm going to pay taxes later on, is that actually a benefit for you? You have to look at that in your strategy if you believe that is. And then another one is really for yourself is, what is my better option at the end of the day compared to a 401k? Because now a lot of people are using what's called not traditional 401ks, they're using Roth 401ks. So now they can position themselves to have tax-free money growing, but the problem is they still have market participation, there's still no protection of principal, and there's still a lot of things going on. So when you start looking at that whole plan just in general, the whole plan was created really for the employer because they have a major tax deduction, right, from the IRS by offering that plan. But the employee, you got to look at it, take advantage of it, because if your employer is not giving you a match dollar for dollar anyways, then that's not free money. So a lot of people today, most employers are not even offering them a match anymore to be able to offer that type of plan. And so that could be obviously a reason not to have it. But again, you got to look at your whole portfolio. You got to meet with a financial professional and say, does this make sense? Because there's a lot of things you could be using today that can give you tax-free money, that can be liquid for yourself, that could be market participation, that can have tax-free growth, and it could position yourself in whatever you're receiving to have lifetime income. These are different plans that I help my clients with each and every day, but a lot of people don't know about these things because these are the things wealth hacks, again, are not taught in our schools. So for those that are looking for that, I would highly recommend you meet with a licensed professional that knows exactly what they're doing so they can make sure you give you the right advice.